Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about some amazing fragrances from Precious Liquid. I have 5 scents to talk to you guys about, and they're scents that I've been wearing for the past few months and really, and I mean really, been enjoying. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about these fragrances, then keep watching. Precious Liquid did send me these 3 bottles to review, and I had been given a discovery set to try and wear and see which ones were my favorite. But I'm going to be talking about the 5 fragrances that are currently been released on Maxaroma.com. So Precious Liquid did provide the bottles for me for free to review, and I have been wearing them for the past few months, and they are currently being released on Maxaroma. I will have links below, definitely check them out. The first thing I'm going to say is that I loved every single one of them, and I was surprised at the ones that I loved the most. So if you know my channel, if you're familiar with my taste, you might be like, obviously the rose is your favorite. But to be perfectly honest, the rose was definitely up there and I enjoyed, but when I talk about the one that is my favorite, you'll understand. So the first 2 I'm going to talk about are the ones that weren't my particular favorites, but ones that I definitely loved and would definitely purchase in the future to add to my collection. I do love the rose scent. The rose is a beautiful, light, very billowy rose. It has a bit of brightness in there. It's got sandalwood, lily of the valley. It's just very feminine and delicate and watery and a very, very pretty rose. To contrast it, you have vanilla orchid. And as light and everyday as Rose Blanche is, you have vanilla orchid, which is this gorgeous and robust, almost syrupy and velvety floral scent. It's very unapologetic, it's very strong, it's very powerful, and it's very beautiful. I like that it has fig in there, which kind of gives it a little bit of milkiness, which works with these beautiful florals and this beautiful vanilla, and the cedar wood in there too works with the fig to lighten it up just a touch. But it is a very powerful fragrance, especially in contrast to the rose. And the reason why I'm talking about them together is they're both the feminine fragrances and they're also both very much floral fragrances. So if you like lighter, more effervescent, billowy, watery fragrances, more springtime appropriate florals, go with Rose Blanche. It's really beautiful. And if you like more of those daring, loud, unapologetically sexy fragrances that have a lot of sensuality behind them, that are a little bit heavier, a little bit stickier, that are more appropriate, I would say, in fall and winter, but you could wear it year round, I would say go for Vanilla Orchid. They're both just great scents. The reason why those weren't part of my favorite list has to do more with how amazing the other 3 are. And that's what I really wanted to talk about. It's not that those were bad scents. They were actually amazing, and I do plan on purchasing them in the future. But these other 3 just fit my taste in different ways. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So the first one we're going to talk about is Blue Agave. And Blue Agave has one of my favorite notes, and that's juniper berry. I don't know if you guys know, I find it a lot more present in men's fragrances. And juniper is this amazing note that just smells so sexy and attractive, and it's very easy to wear. It's absolutely gorgeous. So when I first tried Blue Agave, I didn't know the notes. I didn't read up on the notes. I kind of like to wear scents and to see how they play on my skin. And I was so excited for this juniper. It also has a beautiful touch of moss in there, which gives it this cool green, like almost chill. And that works beautifully, and I mean beautifully, with the juniper. There's also some woods in there and other aromatics, and it's just a really sexy, unassuming, easy to wear, masculine fragrance. I like that it smells cool. I like that the juniper is very present. I also love the woods in here too. And this is the type of fragrance that is very easy to wear. It's very attractive. It's very complimentary, but at the same time, it doesn't smell like every single other masculine cologne that you would find on the market, but it's still very easy to wear and very approachable too. So I do love to smell like juniper. It's one of the things that really started to open the door to men's fragrances for me. That note was, that and vetiver were the two notes that really just drew me into the world of I can wear anything that I want. And whenever I see juniper and it's predominant in a scent, I get so excited. And Blue Agave does it beautifully in a very everyday wearable way. It's just fantastic. Next up we have Mandarin, and this one is beautiful. It's musky, it's citrusy, it's got a beautiful note of thyme in there, which gives it an amazing just herbal heart, and rhubarb. And rhubarb is one of those notes that I don't see utilized as often as I would like, but when it is done correctly, I get so excited. And like juniper berries with Blue Agave, when I saw that there was thyme and rhubarb in here, I was kind of like, I smelled it and I read the notes and it kind of clicked, like, this is really smartly done. Like Blue Agave, this is more of a masculine fragrance because of the thyme. It gives it that kind of herbally, slightly tough edge. And I never thought I would compare thyme with a tough edge in a fragrance, but it does have this kind of beautiful, unique, almost savory umami element to a bright citrus fragrance. And the rhubarb in here isn't fruity, it's very tart. And that tartness with this juicy, semi-sweet mandarin and the musk and the thyme create a really fantastic citrus scent. I like this scent a lot because at the end of the day, you do get this juicy mandarin note. And I like the play with the different notes that work together to make it more interesting and special and more of a fragrance and less like you poured orange juice on your head. And I find specifically that the rhubarb's tartness adds a sparkling brightness, and the thyme adds this really fantastic aromatic savoriness that works really well in conjunction with each other to create a very wearable and fantastic citrus scent. And my most favorite is Neroli Musk. Now, the reason why Neroli Musk is my most favorite is it's the most wearable for me in my climate, the tropics, but I also love how pure of a neroli note this is. Sometimes nerolis, orange blossoms, white flowers, depending on how they're mixed, can pull kind of fruity vibes, just a little bit, not too much. But what that can do is it can kind of cheapen the experience of what you're smelling. I don't mind a fruity, tooty, white floral fragrance, but I also like the truest form of those as well. It's why one of my favorite fragrances to wear is a $3 bottle of orange blossom perfume in a little orange. I love it. Neroli Musk is a great neroli, and there's a lot of fantastic cult classic neroli scents out there. So you really have to do something special to make neroli different, but you have to do it in a way that's not compromising this beautiful note. What I like is that Neroli Musk is more sheer, but still has a lot of presence on the skin. It's not an overpowering neroli note. There are citruses, sandalwood, and musk in here to balance out that note while it's still staying to a true, beautiful green and crisp neroli fragrance. And I love crisp green fragrances, but I also like white florals and neroli and orange blossom and jasmine and lily of the valley. And so if you can add a bit of crispness, if you can add a kind of silky sheer quality to one of these fragrances without ruining the integrity of the note, I get really excited because it means it's something I can wear a lot more frequently. And for where I live, neroli is just a very attractive fragrance. It's a very easy to wear scent, and it's something with my body chemistry just works exceptionally well. So I knew when I was smelling all of these first fragrances, like on strips before I wore them on skin, I knew I was really gonna like Neroli Musk. I automatically was like, this is a great neroli, it's nice and sheer, it's gonna work really well on my skin. But when I wore it on my skin, it just smelled even better, more attractive, more accessible. And it's not an overpowering fragrance, but it does have a beautiful billowy atmosphere. And I just really love it. I do. I think the sandalwood is excellent. I think it has just the right amount of citrus to give it a bright, sparkly, uplifting freshness, but it doesn't negate any of this beautiful neroli. It's just a lighter, fresher, and more uplifting version of a lot of other amazing neroli fragrances out there. So I do really enjoy it, and it's the one that smells, in my opinion, the best on my skin, which is why it's my favorite. At the end of the day, all 5 of these scents I think are fantastic. They smell amazing, they perform pretty decently. I think the one that has the least amount of longevity on my skin was Mandarin. The one that had the most was Vanilla Orchid. So you're looking about 3 hours to 8 hours on my skin, depending on which one I was wearing. And when it comes to projection, these all have a beautiful projection. I'd say moderately past arm's length, somebody who's social distancing will be able to smell. It's not too suffocating, it's not too heavy, it's just a really attractive aura that each of these fragrances have. So if performance is something that's important to you, I would say aside from probably Mandarin performing about 3 to 4 hours on my skin, they all have pretty decent longevity. Now the price point for these, full price, is $125, which is priced around designer fragrance prices. So for a niche house, it doesn't have a huge price point, which I think is really excellent. The quality of the juice definitely smells on par with some of these amazing designer houses that have these amazing quality releases that people really just praise just because the composition is excellent, they perform excellent, and they smell good on the skin. So price point, I think that these are very competitively priced. I know sometimes niche houses can be super expensive, and I think these are competitively priced for the quality of the presentation and the quality of the juice. That's just my thoughts and based on how I purchase fragrances and what's worth my money. It doesn't mean that you guys will agree with that. It's completely up to you. In any case, guys, that is my review, brand overview of Precious Liquids. You can find all these fragrances on Precious Liquids website or maxaroma.com. Definitely check them out. And if you guys have had any experience with these fragrances, positive or negative, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to know what you guys think, if you like the brand, what you'd want to try for them, or maybe there's just some that you're just not interested in or, you know, isn't quite your cup of tea. Let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.